Hey, what's up guys? If you're a Facebook organic marketer or you've got a group and you're wanting to know how to monetize it, in this video I'm going to show you the exact process I've been using and teaching to scale my business to 51k months. And I'm going to give you guys the blueprint about how it works, why it works so well, and how you can start to replicate that in your business. I'm going to head over to my computer right now. See you guys over there in a minute. Cheers. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. My name is Gardiner. I'm going to be teaching you guys the process I've been using to extract as much as $210 for every one single member of my audience in my Facebook group. This is going to be applicable to you if you are a Facebook organic marketer and you're considering whether or not you should get a group started. Side note, you should get one started right from the very first day you start online. Or if you are a coach and you've got an existing Facebook group, or pretty much anyone that is looking to start any form of online community, it's going to help you out as well. Now, before I dive into that, my name is Jamie, and over the last 12 years, I've been an affiliate marketer, digital ad strategist, coach, you name it, got well over 700 students. What I teach here is really just the principles behind why some of this stuff works, really just what I'm doing in my business at any given time. Hopefully help a few of you guys out along the way. If at any time you feel inspired, feel free to click the link below. It's going to lead you through to a free case study, really going in depth into what I'm teaching here today. And there's also an option to speak to me should you want to continue on and see how I can help you out with your business. So, right, let's dive straight into it. First and foremost, if you are a Facebook organic marketer and you don't have a group yet, I highly recommend you do get one. I'm going to explain why this works, how it works so well, and how you can start to use this to monetize your audience in a more efficient manner. So what tends to happen is most affiliate marketers, from a Facebook organic standpoint at least anyway, they've got their profile over here. And so what that means is that they've got their profile, they've got stories, they've got reels, whatever other mechanisms there are to get in front of an audience. I think those are the three main ones that I can come up with off the top of my head. And so over here, if we assume that we've got a high ticket product, and for reference, if you're new to this world, high ticket simply means that if you're an affiliate and you make a sale, you're making $500 plus per sale. To give you some indication, what I promote, my Ultimate Marketing Mastermind, ranges from, at the moment, time of recording, 1,000 right up to, I've got some coaching for 12K as well. So obviously that's kind of the realms in which we're looking at the moment. So having said that, what most people are doing is they're going from here straight over and they're just like, hey, profile, connect with a stranger, try and build rapport, try and work out who's the dominant one in that hierarchy, who's going to end up selling to who, and who basically needs the help, and who's open to getting that help along the way. There's a few other components that go into this. You need to be able to put out content, you need to be able to, I guess, get inside the minds of your prospect to see whether or not you can help them. But effectively, that's the main thing that you're trying to do. You're trying to go, cool, here's my profile, here's some content, get people to raise their hands, see if you can help them out. And whether you choose to book a call to close your leads into customers, or perhaps you're using a Google Doc, or perhaps you're doing everything in Messenger, the same principles apply. Now, the slight inefficiency with this is that if you go to your Facebook timeline right now, there is a lot of noise. There's a lot of things to distract you. I'm not saying that's going to disappear when you have a Facebook group, but there is a couple of little things that you can actually do with a Facebook group that allow you to nurture your leads in a lot more efficient manner than just via your profile. So now that we have that worked out, what we can do is, if I get rid of that, if we add in the middle, we have our group, which acts as a funnel. So the cool thing about this, and please don't tell Russell Brunson for this because he might come and take my 2 Comma Club award away from me, but you don't actually need funnels to get started. All you need is a mechanism to nurture your leads. You need an offer that resonates with your ideal audience. And of course, you need a traffic source and an incoming consistent flow of leads in order to make anything work, basically, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Now with the group, if we change tact a little bit, and instead of directing them straight over to our offer, which most people do, if we start to direct people over to our Facebook group over here, like I say, you can put a landing page here. You certainly do not have to start with. In fact, I would suggest to people to get that out of your mind that you need a funnel at this stage if you're brand new. If you are a coach or someone who already has funnels in place, then by all means add one there, and I'll explain how you can add these in later and make it a little bit more efficient for you. So the cool thing is, when someone enters your group, you've got the option of asking 3 questions, kind of like a genie. We're asking 3 magic questions. And this allows us to extract some really, really incredible data from our prospects. So for me, for example, I'll give you I guess what I ask as part of that. So number 1 is, what's the number 1 thing you'd like to learn from this community? It's a very powerful way to frame your questions, because what happens is if you say, hey, what are you struggling with in your business? Most people, they put their emotional wall up. They're like, no thanks, I'm fine, leave me alone. Whereas if you ask them what they would like to learn, they will give you the answers. Now, what happens is you can take those responses, which then fuels all your content, because you now know exactly what they want to learn, and so you can just give them what they want to learn, right? And even if you're relatively new to the stuff, you still are a couple of steps ahead of most people. So therefore you can teach stuff that you're learning as you're going along. Pretty cool, right? That's the first question. Next one is just quite simply, it's a permission to pitch. In my case, I've helped over 700 students scale their income through high ticket affiliate marketing. And I basically just say, that's what I've done. Would you like me to reach out and explain how I might be able to help you scale your income through high ticket online marketing stuff? The last question I ask is, what are you promoting as an affiliate? Now, I'm a coach, right? I've been doing this for 12 years, hundreds of students, lots of success stories, blah, blah, blah. And that allows me to be really dynamic with people. So I might have someone come into my audience, they might already have a high ticket program, and there's no point selling them another high ticket program. They don't necessarily need more information at that point, but what they do often need is just a bit of support to push them along. They might need a little bit of help to get them from where they are now to where they'd like to be. And so you can become quite dynamic with this stuff, meaning that your offer can vary, which is pretty cool, right? This means that we're always inside the minds of our prospects. We're always tapping into their subconscious based on the information they have already given us. And we keep a spreadsheet of this, so we start to get a bit of an inclination over time what exactly our prospects want, which allows us to create a better offer, a better sales experience, and become more proficient at this whole thing, including our content along the way. A couple of things you need to have in place in order for any of this stuff to work. Number one is you need to have a sense of authority so that people actually bother to listen to you. And if you don't have a sense of authority, you can just help them out, or you can create a sense of authority based on some intangible things, such as getting increased engagement on your posts, or perhaps growing your Facebook group, which ironically serves as self-fulfilling prophecy. You can do that type of stuff. You can go and find 5 or 10 people that you can help without expectation of return, jump on a call, help them out with some stuff, teach them some of the stuff that you've learned in exchange for a testimonial. You can then transcribe that testimonial. You can then use the videos of those testimonials. You can then use quote cards. There's all sorts of things you can do with that. But all that does, and what you're aiming to do, is to build some social proof, build some credibility in your brand. Because if you don't, no one's going to bother to listen to you. It doesn't matter how good your content is along the way. So a couple of mechanisms we can use in order to establish ourselves as an authority. And of course, by the way, as you go through this journey and you get better results, and your students start to get better results, and then you start cracking these huge months, and then you get your students start cracking these huge months, you start giving out awards, it grows and grows and grows and grows. But in the initial stages, that's where it's a little bit tricky, right? So we need to develop these things based off the intangible things. Like I say, increased engagement, inbound leads work really well. Anything that you're able to discuss, also implied authority. One of the ways that I do that, and you guys have probably heard me through this very video, is I will discuss things like, for example, how one of my students went from nothing to over 107 sales and over $10,000 worth of revenue in around about 49 days. That was just one student. I had another one that jumped into my program, and within 4 months, they cracked over 50K in revenue in their business. Right, so therefore, when you're saying this type of stuff, there's an implication behind that. The implication is my students get the results, right? Which is kind of cool. Now, the other way that you can do that is, well, one of the reasons why I'm able to get my students results is because of X, Y, Z. Another one would be, I've been able to achieve X, Y, Z in my business because of X, Y, Z. Kind of get the idea. Hopefully this is making sense, right? So the implicit language, to build your authority up. So it's something that you need to be adding to your content. What you also need is 2 components. You can have more, of course, but I've got 2 and they work really, really well. So number one is you need a lead magnet of some kind. And this is just a free gift. It's just something to warm your prospect, to give them something of value, to help them out. And it needs to do 4 things: add value to them in the form of a training or something that helps them out dramatically, and also a call to action on the back of that. So what's the next step? If they're interested in getting some more information, what is that next step? If they'd like to hop on a call with you, what is the next step that they need to do? If they'd like to jump in the low ticket thing that you've got, what is that next step? Make sure it's very, very clear for people to take that next thing to get that next piece of information. Really, really important. The next thing is I've got a welcome video. Mine's rather long. You don't need a long welcome video. You can also have a series of short videos in your guides section in your Facebook group. And what that does is aim to indoctrinate people into that. You're helping them out with stuff in advance, helping them out, blah, 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 calls to action on every single one. If they go through those, it means that they are starting to become more in tune with the way that you communicate. They're starting to absorb more of your content for them to be able to go, okay, look, I think this person can actually help me out, and this is the dream outcome that they're able to provide me. I'm going to go and pursue this and see where it takes me type stuff. Right, so that's a welcome video or a welcome series of videos. And so what I'm doing is every time someone lands in my group, I'm automatically tagging them into my welcome video, offering to give them my lead magnet. And I've got a very fluid process with all this stuff. It literally takes me 5 to 8 messages to either get a call booked, so it's unbelievably efficient on that side, or alternatively, they also have the option of getting an offer straight over to them as well. So again, that's 5 to 8 messages from people that have arrived in my group, which is unbelievable. Now, what you can do is if you're booking calls, absolutely, like I say, really simple, just make an offer. You might do something like, for example, hey, I'm looking to have a new case study group come through starting next month. I'm looking for 5 people only that want to scale their income to XYZ in the next XYZ time frame. Drop a comment if you'd like me to reach out and explain how this is going to work. Bang, get a whole bunch of responses. Book those calls based off the back of that. You end up closing even if you're not aiming to sell aggressively, which you do not have to. That's kind of the cool thing about this whole thing. So this process here converts around about 1 in 6 leads into a customer for me. Now, there is something I really want to put a disclaimer on this one and just be really transparent. Not all of them are going to close into a high ticket offer. Okay, now I would encourage you to stay super focused on a high ticket offer. It's where the bulk of your revenue and your cash flow is going to come from as a business owner. Having said that, I understand that not everyone has $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 plus to invest in coaching and mentoring and programs, all that type of stuff. So what do? Well, we help people out based on where they currently are. So for me, I've got a range of programs, and if you're interested in checking those out, head over to jamiegardiner.com/scale. You can actually see all of my products that I've got in there. There's everything from sales, there's content creation, there's lead generation stuff, there's overviews of my entire business process, there's things for workshops for my entire business, workshops for the fundamentals of affiliate marketing, you name it. I've got a whole bunch of stuff in there, which is really cool. So what that means though is I'm able to serve my audience at their level. And so I call this casting a wide net, meaning that some people are going to go straight for the big stuff, right to my coaching, right to my ultimate marketing mastermind. Other people may not need that. They might be too big of a jump for them straight away. So they might be quite happy with my $9 masterclass over here, or my $27 masterclass here, or my $100 or my $300 or my $500, so on and so forth. Meaning that now, like I say, I'm casting the net really wide. So this process involves basically 3 core components, as I sort of alluded to. Number 1 is you've got your offer over here. So what are you selling? What are you promoting? How are you framing it? How are you gift wrapping that to your audience? Number 2 is you need a nurturing process, and you also need a method of conversion. So I was going to say NM for that one, the method of conversion. So for me, I love hopping on the blower, having a bit of a chat with people. I'm pretty relaxed. I don't really believe in high pressure sales, so I don't really do that. I'm trying to establish whether or not I can actually help this person out if I hop on the call. I'm trying to help them as much as I can. So even if nothing happens other than them leaving the call, knowing that, holy crap, I got a great experience out of that. I'm so much more clear about what I need to do in my business, and that is my goal. And interestingly, that has a flow-on effect, because even if they don't buy at the time, a lot of the time people will come back and just start buying stuff on their own accord. It's happened numerous times for me in my business, and it's really powerful. You also need a way to nurture the leads, because not everyone's going to buy straight away. There's only about 3% of your marketplace that are ready, willing, and able to make a purchasing decision like right away. You also need traffic source, or as I like to call it, my audience, because realistically, anyone can get clicks, but it's the relationship that you're able to build with your audience. And through this process, you're able to build a really deep relationship with your audience, which again is why it works so unbelievably well. Now, when you add all these things together, like I say, this is what has spit out 50K months for me. Been able to teach this to hundreds of students. I've had them have some incredible results in their business, and that's pretty much it. Like I say, stick with one method of conversion, one offer to start with. Start spreading out once you get a bit of traction on that one, and obviously just focus on one audience to start with, and then eventually start to spread your wings, get other platforms involved, start building out the layers of your business. And if you use this process, like I say, it works really well, and I can see it working very well into the future as well. That's of interest. If you'd like to learn more about that, head over to the link in the description there. Otherwise, type in www.ultimatemarketingmastermind.com. There's a free case study. You can check that out, see whether or not this process works for you, and feel free to hop on the blog, let's have a bit of a chat, see how I can help you out with your business. All right, my name's Jamie Gardiner. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, guys. Go take action on this stuff. It works really, really well. And head up my group if you'd like some more information and get some help with stuff as well. All right, have a good one. Thanks very much. We'll see you in the next one.